A nuclear war may be imminent as a nuclear submarine was unexpectedly disrupted by abnormal interference on its journey. The submarine's equipment malfunctioned, prompting the captain to order an urgent surfacing. However, as the submarine surfaced, a freighter approached and opened a large door in front of them. Despite the captain finding it, they couldn't take any evasive action. Everyone had to wait quietly. Then Holland swiftly pushed the submarine into the cabin. It turned out that this was not the first submarine they captured. There were 2 Soviet nuclear submarines next to it. Soon, many terrorists took the submarine as their main weapon. Then they made a hole in the submarine and connected it. Then a loudspeaker was installed on the submarine. The terrorist leader warned them to either open the hatch and surrender or be killed by the poison gas. The conditions rendered them entirely helpless. The captain had to instruct all crew members to evacuate immediately. They opened the hatches and walked out one after another. At the same time, the terrorists were moving nuclear missiles to the submarine. But the next second, Bond and Anya appeared on the surveillance screen. When the leader saw them, he immediately ordered his men to bring them over. When brought to the leader, he revealed his plan to use the hijacked nuclear submarines to launch nuclear bombs at the United States and the Soviet Union, provoking a world nuclear war. The 2 submarines' nuclear missiles have been loaded. He then ordered his men to drive the submarine out of the cabin. The big cylinder door at the bow of the ship was open, and the 2 subs slowly sailed out of the cargo ship, one by one. They had to hurry to the launch site before noon. The leader then instructed his men to take Anya to his water base and Bond remained behind. Solve it on the spot. But the leader is too underestimated now. Bond waited for him to leave on the speedboat. Shortly after Bond departed, he initiated an assault. He swiftly subdued the 2 guards, then stormed into the detention room and liberated all the Tinyuan within. He took Tinyuan to the armory to get weapons, but he had to fight with the terrorists before he could rush out. Soon, the terrorists below were eliminated by them. However, the command center upstairs closed the bulletproof door at this time. There were holes inside where the crew members would be shot immediately upon approaching, and even the bombs could not destroy it. Seeing this, Bond immediately had an idea and brought some crew members to a nuclear missile was placed directly behind the weapons depot. They skillfully disassembled the missile warhead and manually turned the high explosive device inside, posing a significant danger. Once the device in his hand touches the missile body, it will immediately cause a nuclear explosion, frightening the people around him. They were all very nervous. Fortunately, Bond usually exercises his arm strength and has good control. He quickly took out the high explosive device. They installed a timer on the device and Bond brought the high explosive device to the 2nd floor with the captain's help. He used the surveillance camera to transport the high explosive device to the bulletproof door. After the camera stopped, he immediately disarmed the bomb and swiftly moved it to a safe distance. As soon as he lay down, the bomb exploded. Indeed, this bomb is powerful. The bulletproof door was blown open with a big hole. He swiftly took all the crew. Most of the people inside were taken away by the bomb. A dying terrorist said they were too late. The submarine had arrived at the launch site. The nuclear missile would be launched in 4 minutes. The urgent situation prompted Bond to quickly collaborate with the captain. He reprogrammed the submarine's nuclear missile coordinates to match each other. The captain sent a message to the submarine to alter the target. Upon receiving it, the personnel in the missile control room promptly made the change. Then the missile launch cover of the nuclear submarine was quickly opened. Just when the time came to 12 o'clock, the nuclear missiles of both sides were launched. Not long after, the missiles passed by each other and then immediately flew towards the other submarine. In an instant, 2 mushroom fish rose on the sea surface. Just after the nuclear submarines of both sides were destroyed, a huge explosion suddenly occurred on the cargo ship. It seems that this must have been designed by the leader long ago. The crew quickly boarded the submarine and waited for the personnel to be in position. The captain promptly ordered the torpedo compartment to load a torpedo and then ordered the number. The launch door opened and fired directly in front of the submarine, instantly blowing a big hole in the cargo ship. The submarine quickly left the sinking cargo ship and traveled a certain distance before the judge found the chief's sea base. The judge was ordered by the Ministry of Defense to destroy the chief's sea base within 5 minutes. Bond said Anya was still inside and he had to save her. Helplessly, the judge had to risk going to the military court and gave Bond an hour to save Anya. At the same time, he asked someone to move the equipment prepared by Mr. Q. Soon, Bond hesitated because he didn't know where Anya was imprisoned, so he could only listen to the chief's words and sit down temporarily. Suddenly, as he sat, the leader fired the long gun below. Luckily, Bond reacted quickly. Then he turned around and put the pistol into the long barrel below. Before the leader could react, Bond fired the gun and shot the leader. He rushed to the corridor to search for Anya, and was then assaulted by big steel teeth. He was quickly pulled by a large magnet and tossed into the shark tank by Bond, suggesting that he had much work to do. The captain had to aim at the target 5 minutes before their scheduled time. At this time, Bond found Anya and quickly helped her untie the rope. Meanwhile, the captain ordered the launch of torpedoes. Soon the first torpedo hit. Goal. The base began to tilt instantly and seawater was pouring in. Fortunately, Bond took Anya into the emergency escape capsule in time. At the last moment, Bond pressed the ejection switch and the escape capsule was launched and quickly surfaced. Soon after, the escape capsule was brought into the cabin by the British rescue ship. Several officials saw something they had never expected, the British.